Hey everyone, welcome back to Movie Beacon, your go-to spot for the wildest, most forgotten corners of cinema. Today, we're diving into a shadow reel of the most banned and controversial films ever made. These are the ones that pushed every limit and got locked away in country after country. If you're ready for a seriously unsettling ride, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload, and let's jump right in. First up is Salò, or the 120 Days of Sodom. This one got banned in multiple countries almost immediately because of its raw, unflinching look at power and control taken to the darkest extremes. Set against a backdrop of fascism, it creates an atmosphere so oppressive and disturbing that many places simply refuse to let it screen. Watch it once and you'll understand why it still feels like a forbidden shadow hanging over film history. Cold, calculated, and deeply unsettling.
It's beautiful Bethlehem you see before you, filthiest person alive.
Next, Pink Flamingos, an exercise in pushing every boundary of taste. It was banned or heavily restricted in several places for its wild, over-the-top celebration of the grotesque and the bizarre. The film follows characters who compete to be the filthiest person alive, diving headfirst into scenes of pure, outrageous chaos. What makes it linger in your mind is how gleefully it breaks every rule, leaving you with a creepy, almost hypnotic discomfort that sticks around long after the credits roll.
People alive!
No way to predict when you will become one of them.
Then there's Faces of Death. This mock documentary style film was banned in dozens of countries because it blurred the line between real and staged footage of mortality in the most shocking ways. It takes you on a tour through death itself, autopsies, accidents, and the final moments, all presented like a forbidden newsreel. The eerie part, you can never quite shake the feeling that you're seeing something you were never meant to witness.
Hey, come on, let's get this lease signed, eh?
Human Centipede 2 takes the concept to an even more twisted level. It was refused classification and banned in places like the UK because the entire story revolves around one man's obsessive, nightmarish fantasy of total control and degradation. Shot in stark black and white, it creates this claustrophobic, skin-crawling tension that feels personal and deeply wrong. It's the kind of film that makes you question how far cinema can really go before it crosses into pure psychological unease. Begotten is one of the most experimental and haunting entries on this list. This nearly silent black and white nightmare was banned in Singapore and heavily restricted elsewhere for its raw, ritualistic depiction of creation, suffering, and rebirth. The visuals look like they were carved out of an ancient, forgotten nightmare. A godlike figure tears itself apart so that new life can emerge from the ruins. There's almost no dialogue, just eerie sounds and imagery that feels occult and primal. It lingers like a bad dream you can't wake up from, making you feel like you've glimpsed something ancient and forbidden. Snuff is the short but infamous one. It was banned in many places because it pretended to be a real snuff film, that ultimate urban legend of cinema. The marketing alone created such panic that authorities stepped in fast. Even today, it carries this creepy rumor mill energy that makes your skin crawl. A Serbian Film is hands down the most notorious and talked about film on this entire list. It was banned, refused classification, or heavily cut in a huge number of countries, including Australia, New Zealand, and many others, because it dives headfirst into the absolute darkest, most hidden corners of the human mind and the darkest side of the adult film industry. The story follows a retired adult film performer who's been out of the game for years, living a quiet life with his family. One day, he gets an offer for what's supposed to be one final project. Easy money, nothing too crazy, or so he thinks. But very quickly, things spiral into a nightmarish descent that drags him deeper and deeper into pure psychological horror. What makes this movie so incredibly disturbing is that it never blinks. It refuses to look away, even for a second. It forces you to sit there and confront some of the most uncomfortable themes imaginable. Total loss of control, deep trauma, the complete collapse of any sense of morality. And it does it all in a way that feels raw, honest, and brutally unflinching. The atmosphere is thick, oppressive, and it just keeps getting heavier as the film goes on.
Nicht alles lesen. Außer die Gage auf Seite 3.
Finally, Vase de Noces, also known as Wedding Trough. This Belgian avant-garde film was banned in Australia and other places for its silent, black and white portrait of isolation taken to surreal and deeply uncomfortable extremes. A lone man on a remote farm forms an unnatural bond that leads to bizarre and disturbing consequences. Shot like a fever dream with almost no dialogue, it creates this quiet, creeping dread that feels both artistic and profoundly wrong. The kind of underground oddity that stays with you like a whisper you wish you'd never heard. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I know it wasn't easy. If you want more deep dives into cinema's darkest corners, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you never miss a new video. Drop a like if you survived this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious and stay safe out there.